Welcome back, members of the jury. Everyone may be seated. Mr. Dreiser, you can continue.
What's the number? Question. Okay. We're working through some bank records trying to figure out money, correct?
Okay.
You've reviewed lots of stuff in order to make findings as to where you think money came from, right?
I don't understand the question.
You had access to review lots of documents so you could try to get a better understanding of how the Fernandez family, the Gardner family, and the Gardner wealthy family out in Utah, how they move money. That was part of the job of you trying to figure that out, right?
Not necessarily, no.
What have you been testifying to for the last hour and a half?
I received bank statements for a specific period of time that show a picture of a certain thing, but what you're describing is much larger than what was actually done.
Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been labeled and admitted into evidence as defense 2. This will help us figure out where the money came from. Do you have you know that Mr. and Mrs. Fernandez had a prenuptial agreement?
No, I've actually not seen this.
No one showed you their prenuptial agreement?
No.
So you're seeing it for the first time?
Yes.
Okay, and one of the disputes that we were just trying to reconcile is whether the Mercedes-Benz money from the Tesla, you were saying, well, it could have circulated back through money that came from the trust. And I was saying, well, you don't know that. And then you answered how you answered. Do you remember that exchange?
Yes.
Okay. In a premarital agreement, you've seen those through your work, right?
Yes.
In premarital agreements, people put some of their assets that they owned before the marriage.
That's correct.
You're not unfamiliar with that policy, right? Hold on. Sorry. You agree with me? I'm still reading from the premarital agreement, right?
Yes, sir.
And then this is where Schedule 1, Mario's separate property is. You see that?
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yes.
It says Mario's motor vehicles, correct?
Yes, it does.
And what does it say that Mr. Fernandez owned before he even got into the marriage?
A Toyota Tacoma valued at $32,000 and a Tesla Model S valued at $47,000.
Okay. And the $35,000 that came from Mercedes-Benz was because he sold that Tesla S, correct?
Yes.
So now we know that that did not come from the Shanna Gardner Trust or anything to do with the Gardners, because we know it was a premarital asset before he even met Ms. Gardner, correct?
Yes.
I just need a moment in between. I want to keep these papers organized, Judge.
No problem.
All right. So you testified that Mr. Fernandez, in the month of April, moved. He had about $4,000 or $5,000 in first choice home rentals in the month of March, right?
Okay.
You said that.
Can I see the statement you're referring to?
Sure. It's the month before the $50,000 gets moved. It had a balance of $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, right?
Somewhere around there, yes.
Okay. And then Mr. Fernandez transferred $50,000 from his own personal account into first choice home rentals, right?
Yes.
A $15,000 AC unit for the Potomac address from Bueller Air Conditioning, correct?
Yes.
So he had to transfer money into First Choice Home Rentals, or the check would have bounced, correct?
Yes.
And you don't know if Mr. Fernandez knew exactly how much that AC was going to be, right?
I would imagine that there was some type of talk about price prior to, but
Maybe an estimate, right?
yes.
Okay. And you don't want to bounce a check ever, right?
No.
Especially if you have plenty of money in one account, there's no reason not to move over to another account to make sure you cover your costs for that month. That's just good financial planning, isn't it?
Yes.
And he also wrote Mr. Tenon $10,000 worth of checks the next month, correct?
Yes.
So besides the $15,000 approximate payment to Bueller and the $10,000 that he paid to Mr. Tenon, that's $25,000 right there, right?
Yes.
And then you said later he moved another 2 payments of $5,000 back to the original personal banking account, correct?
They were transferred back, yes.
Right. So when you said, I don't know, I can't think of a reason why he would do that, he overpaid himself from one account to another account to cover monthly expenses. He excess paid what the monthly expenses were, right?
I wouldn't characterize that, no.
How could you characterize it any different? He put $50,000 into an account, and he didn't spend $50,000 that month, did he?
No, we did not.
So he overextended additional funds that weren't needed. You agree with that?
Typically, when you deposit funds from a personal account into a business account, you're making a contribution to your company, and you would receive, we're getting into taxes here, but basically the basis of your company would increase, so you would keep that money the way it is.
Or you could move it back.
Or you could move it back.
And then you just adjust your bookkeeping for the month. That's all that is required there, right?
Yes.
You don't pay taxes monthly. So if he overpaid the account to cover expenses and then he moved the money back, he just moved it right back from where it came from, correct?
It would be unusual to do that, but yes, that's correct.
Unusual to you?
To most people who have a business and conduct different books for their business, yes.
And you know that from your training and experience as a police officer, or from your financial planning?
From my financial planning and the tax firm that I own as well.
Okay. And with that information, you think that because he moved excess funds and then moved them right back to the very account, there's something suspicious about that?
I didn't say it was suspicious.
Oh, it's just unusual.
Unusual.
Not suspicious.
Your words.
Not suspicious.
It is an unusual transaction.
That you characterize as not suspicious.
It's unusual.
Nonetheless, when you do all of the things that we're just talking about, there's a complete bank record of it, right?
Yes, there is.
Nothing is hidden, because all you have to do is subpoena the bank, and it showed every single one of these transactions, unusual or not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, around the same time period, there is the Shanna Gardner irrevocable trust, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the trust account, also from States 170.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Top left corner, the Shanna Gardner Irrevocable Trust.
Yes, sir.
This is prior to the homicide, 11/28 to 2/27.
Yes.
This has an ending balance of $178,000.
Yes, sir.
Identify for me anywhere in this statement. Would you like me to bring it to you?
No, that's all right. I can see that.
Identify for me anywhere in this statement where Mr. Fernandez transferred one single penny to himself.
Well, that's just the balances there.
That's why I asked. You want to see the whole statement?
Sure. There are two transfers of one for 1,800, one for 1,500 that are transferred to a checking account. Unfortunately, the way that these statements are drafted, it doesn't say which account that it went into.
Okay. Except you've already told this jury that those two accounts were designated for AB and LB, the ones that you just read that from, correct? Mr. Mizrahi asked you, and you said the two sub-accounts were designated for AB and LB, correct?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying the statement does not show which account the money was transferred into. It just shows that there was a transfer of $1,800 and one of $1,500.
Detective, do you still stand by that the accounts that you're referring to are for LB and AB?
You're asking two different questions. Your initial question was, do I see any transfers on the statement?
No. I asked you see any transfers, one single penny to Mr. Fernandez was my question.
And as I'm saying here, and I'll gladly show you, there are two transfers, one in 12-1 and 12-15, to a checking account. It does not state which checking account they were transferred to.
You're talking about the highlighted.
Yes.
So you're acknowledging to me that you should show me. I highlighted them and sent them to you, correct?
Yes, you did.
Fair enough that I probably know that they're on there.
Yeah.
Can I see it? So let's show the jury so they can see. Back to the same statement, the highlighted portions that I sent over to you. In that particular month, there are two transfers, $1,800 and $1,500, and you're saying that you don't know that those are for the benefit of LB and AB?
According to the document that you're showing me, it does not state the account that they were transferred into.
Any reason to believe they went to Mr. Fernandez?
I don't know where they went based upon the document you're showing me.
Okay, so as you sit here today as the lead detective in this case, you don't have any evidence that one single penny went to Mario Fernandez?
No, sir, that is not at all what I said.
Okay, tell the jury, what evidence do you have that one single penny went to Mario Fernandez?
Are you talking about the totality of the...
No.
Are you talking about the statement? What are you referring to?
This $1,800 and this $1,500. If it went to Mr. Fernandez, you have all of Mr. Fernandez's accounts, detective. You would know exactly if it went into Mr. Fernandez's accounts, wouldn't you?
By looking at other statements, yes.
Do you have any reason to believe that that went into Mr. Fernandez's accounts?
I don't know.
Okay, so the answer is you don't know if any money went to Mr. Fernandez, but can we at least agree if it did, it would be less than $4,000?
Based upon the one statement you're showing me, yes.
I'm talking about, one statement, just this month, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is the next month, correct?
Yes, sir.
Irrevocable trust, 12/28/127, right?
Correct.
This is the month that the balance goes up, right?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't go down, it goes up, meaning there was more deposits than withdrawals, right?
That's correct.
This is the next page. We don't have to guess why it went up. This was the month that the checking account recognized the $75,000 check that Ms. Gardner got from her parents, right?
That's correct.
Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may throughout.
Can you show me on this statement, the following month, where one single penny went from this account to Mr. Fernandez?
There is not one.
Would you agree with me? This is the next month. Shanna Gardner, irrevocable trust. Can you see that?
Would you mind pulling it down just here for me? Yep, thank you. Yes.
128 to 227.
Yes, sir.
I haven't skipped any months, have I?
Nope.
You see the balance?
Yes, sir.
253,000?
Yes.
Bless you.
Can you tell the jury there's any evidence that Mr. Fernandez got one single penny from the irrevocable trust?
Well, there are no withdrawals. You can tell that right here.
There are no withdrawals, so you know that Mr. Fernandez did not get one single penny.
There were no withdrawals, correct.
Right. So the answer is he got zero pennies.
On that statement, that's correct.
Okay. I've shown you 3 statements so far. One statement, there was a $1,500 and an $1,800 withdrawal, and you don't even know where that went. That's where we're at, right?
Based upon the statement you showed me, that's correct.
Do you think that there's a part of the statement I didn't show you?
The statement does not state where the transaction went to.
Right. So you don't know. I didn't mischaracterize that, right? Right? You don't know where that $1,500 and $1,800 went, right?
Based on the statement, no. I answered the question at least 3 times.
That's why when I said you don't know, I thought you would just agree with me. So now you're at the next monthly statement, Detective. Shanna Gardner irrevocable trust,
Yes.
228 to 327. I think that's the one we just looked at. Must be a duplicate. Nope. I'm sorry, this is right. This is the month of the homicide, correct?
Pull down the statement for me a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is post the homicide. The last statement was during the homicide, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're on track. I haven't skipped anything. Shanna Gardner's irrevocable trust, 228 to 327. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Show the jury, please, if Mr. Fernandez got one single penny from the irrevocable trust.
There is a $1,500 transfer. There again, the statement does not indicate what checking account it was transferred into.
Okay. So if he did get a penny, it's $1,500, and you agree as you sit here, you have no idea whether he got it or anybody else in the world got it.
The statement doesn't state what checking account it was transferred into.
Okay. But you have all of Mr. Fernandez's checking accounts for that exact same time period, right?
Yes, I do.
So you would be able to find out in 2 seconds if that went to Mr. Fernandez, couldn't you?
Yes.
It's the next month. Shanna Gardner irrevocable trust, 328 to 427. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Didn't skip a month?
No.
Can you please tell the jury if there's evidence that Mr. Fernandez, the month after the homicide, received one single penny from the irrevocable trust?
There was a $1,000 transfer into a checking account.
You don't know who got it, right?
Not without looking at the corresponding statements.
Even if Mr. Fernandez got every single checking transfer that you've identified, we're not even close to $50,000, are we?
No, sir.
We haven't even breached 10,000, have we?
No.
And this is the irrevocable trust, irrevocable trust dated 4/28 to 5/27, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you told the jury that Mr. Fernandez and Ms. Gardner had separated at this point?
I believe so, yes.
And where did all the money go?
The money that is in the $257,000 accounts went to new accounts for the kids, just under Ms. Gardner's name. And I know there's a distribution of the rest of the assets, but I couldn't tell you exactly where from the statement.
Any reason to believe that Mr. Fernandez got any of it?
I don't recall exactly how much you got.
The vast majority, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, all went to Ms. Gardner, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any evidence that Mr. Fernandez ever got $50,000 from the irrevocable trust
Directly?
this time period?
No.
Certainly not a week after the homicide. We've gone through all those statements, right?
Yes.
You haven't been able to identify that Mr. Fernandez moved $50,000 from the irrevocable trust to himself 1 week after the homicide. That's for sure. You have not been able to do that as you sit here this afternoon, correct?
Not based upon those statements, no.
Are there any other statements that I'm not showing you of the irrevocable trust, Detective?
No.
And again, this is the following month of the irrevocable trust, 528 to 627. And now it's down to about $10,204.
Yes. Sorry.
And that's consistent with all of the money being transferred to Ms. Gardner, correct?
Yes.
It never goes back into the irrevocable trust account at Navy Federal. The money never gets back in there, correct?
No.
And it never goes to Mr. Fernandez, correct?
The statement you showed, no.
There are no statements that show the money ever going to Mr. Fernandez, correct?
No.
And you know that because you showed the jury that Miss Gardner would regularly have like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in her account when she was in the marriage to Mr. Fernandez, right?
Yes, that's correct. It was a small amount.
Right. And then after Mr. Bridegan died, now we're talking big money, right? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars got transferred from the account that Mr. Fernandez controlled to Ms. Gardner herself, right?
Yes.
And you have no evidence that Mr. Fernandez was ever on any of the accounts that Ms. Gardner set up when she moved, right?
That's correct.
And you also know that when Mr. Fernandez got arrested, okay, Ms. Gardner had about $500,000 in her bank account, correct?
Something about that, yes. So she had access, not necessarily in her account specifically, but yes, she had access to a significant amount of money.
Way more than she had when she was married to Mr. Fernandez, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Fernandez, in all of his accounts added up when he got arrested, he had about $70,000, correct?
I thought it was closer to 80, but about there.
I'll give it to you, $80,000. Significantly less money that he had during the course of the marriage, correct?
That he had access to.
That he had access to, right?
Yes.
So Mr. Fernandez didn't get richer, he got poorer, right?
Yes.
Because he's divorcing and separating from the Gardner family. He's no longer getting annual gifts, right?
I would not have a way of knowing that.
You do have a way of knowing it because you reviewed their bank records. He no longer got any annual gifts from the Gardners, Detective, correct?
I don't know what he does and doesn't get anymore.
Okay. But you do know what went into his bank account, and you know he had substantially less money at the time he got arrested, correct?
Yes.
And he was living with his brother in Orlando, nowhere near Mrs. Gardner, correct?
Yes.
So now let's talk about the checks that Mr. Tenon received, right?
Okay.
There were 3 of them. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And they were checks that were at the end of March, and one was in early April, right?
The checks were all given to him at the same time.
Well, they weren't cashed at the same time,
That's correct.
right? So you weren't there when the checks were exchanged, correct?
I wasn't, no.
Okay. And just because the check stubs were in his truck, you don't know that they were given to him at the same day. You're just making that assumption, correct?
It would be highly unusual that the 3 check stub would still be intact And the checks were not given to him all at the same time.
Unless, as you know, owning your own business, managing other people's businesses, that you can rip one check out, then a second check, and then when the third check comes, you just tear all three out and hand it to him. You know that's exactly what can happen, right, Detective?
I have never seen that happen before.
Of course you haven't. But in this case, you weren't there when Mr. Fernandez ripped the checks out?
No, it was not.
And although they're on different dates, not one single one of them was cashed the same day, correct?
I think two were cash, excuse me, I apologize. Two of them were deposited the same day. I think one of them went on hold, and then the other one was deposited later.
Okay. So at that time, let's just get some perspective here. The homicide was February 16th, 2022, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a murder for hire, a solicitation. That's what the jury is trying to figure out here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What evidence of checks or payments do you have that Mr. Fernandez paid Mr. Tenon in November of 2021?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
What evidence of payments do you have that Mr. Fernandez paid Mr. Tenon any money in November of 2021?
There were statements made that indicated that one of them was a payment.
You have three payments in March, two payments in March and one in April. I'm asking you of November of 2021.
There was no payments made that I'm aware of.
No payments from Mr. Fernandez to Mr. Tenon in November of 2021. Will you agree with me?
Yes.
There are no payments that you have any evidence of between Mr. Fernandez to Mr. Tenon in December of 2021, correct?
Unless there was some cash exchange, there's no evidence of that.
You don't have evidence that the cash was exchanged, do you?
No.
What evidence, and you have no evidence, that any financial transactions occurred between Mr. Fernandez and Mr. Tenon in January of 2022, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So that's the 3 months preceding the homicide, right?
Yes.
And then there's 16 days in the month of February. You have no evidence that Mr. Fernandez paid Mr. Tenon one single nickel in the 16 days preceding the homicide, do you?
Correct.
Okay. So far, you've agreed with me that Mr. Fernandez hasn't paid Mr. Tenon one single penny prior to the homicide, correct?
Unless it was a cash payment. That's correct.
You have no evidence of, right?
Correct.
So now there's the second half of February, and you have no evidence of any payments that Mr. Fernandez gave Mr. Tenon post the homicide that month, correct?
That's correct.
Then the next month is March. In the month of March, that's when there's all sorts of media articles about this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
The blue truck is released to the media, I think you told this jury March 9th, correct?
That was a little later in March, but it was in March.
Sometime in mid-March, right?
Yes.
That's when, if you were Mr. Tenon and you owned a blue truck, you could be on notice, if you were watching the news, that they may be looking for you, correct?
That's correct.
And it's that same month that Mr. Fernandez writes a check to Mr. Tenon, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you would agree with me that a check has got to be the most identifiable form of payment that almost exists on planet Earth, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to write your name on it. You have to sign it. It comes from your account. It goes into the person who deposits its account. All the information we have is right there for anyone to look at when you write somebody a check, correct?
That's correct.
And then there's memo lines on the check. And the memo lines are for keeping up with the roof on one and landscaping clearing on another, correct?
That's correct.
And you know, as the chief or the lead investigator in this case, that Sonny Fong, 11 months after the homicide, called Mr. Fernandez, correct?
Yes.
And in that call, he asked if he knew Mr. Tenon, and he said that he did, right?
That's correct.
He didn't deny knowing him, right?
No.
Mr. Fernandez's phone records indicate that he's having communications with Mr. Tenon in January and February and March, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the conversation, Mr. Fernandez acknowledges, I paid that guy to do some work for me, right?
I believe you made some kind of comment about him. Yes.
I mean, it'll stand for itself, but as the chief lead detective in this case, you've heard that call. It's in evidence, right?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Fernandez says, I had him do some tree work for me, right?
Correct.
That's on the memo line, right?
Yes.
He said, I had him help me with the roof, right?
Yes.
That's on the memo line, right?
Yes.
No one in law enforcement has any reason to believe that Mr. Fernandez knew he was being recorded on that line, correct?
That's correct.
Everyone has spoken to Mr. Fong in this case, and he's testified. He said he had no reason to believe he was being recorded on that call, right?
That's correct.
So Mr. Fernandez would have to, 11 months after the homicide, on an unrecorded phone call, or a recorded phone call that he's unaware of, he just happens to identify exactly what he paid Mr. Tenon for via check.
I can't say why Mr. Fernandez said that.
But you do know that Mr. Tenon did legitimate work for Mr. Fernandez. Your investigation revealed that fact, didn't it?
It was stated that the work was done, yes.
At that time, in March, Mr. Fernandez had he had access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, correct?
Yes, sir.
$5,000 isn't a great deal of money to Mr. Fernandez at that time, is it?
No, sir.
And in that period of time, he writes him a check, Kickstarter, good luck, right?
That's correct.
You learned through your investigative efforts that Mr. Tenon wanted to start his own pallet company, right?
There were some records that indicated that.
Okay, and I'm going to represent to you that it's in evidence that a week before Mr. Fernandez wrote those checks, Mr. Tenon Googled business plans. Did you know that?
I know there was some Googling of that. I don't remember the exact time frame.
Miss Day, we went through the notepad where he wrote in his business plan. We already did that exchange, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll show you the Google in a minute. I just got to find it. It's not in ours. Maybe it isn't. Give me 1 second. And it was no secret that Mr. Tenon wanted to start his own pallet company, right?
I don't know whether he actually wanted to start a pallet company or not.
He wasn't making a whole lot of money in the pallet business, was he?
No, he was not.
It's not uncommon that a person who isn't doing well financially would want to do better financially, is it?
No.
Mr. Tenon had decades of experience in the pallet business, correct?
I don't know specifically how much. I would say that he had some experience in the pallet business.
You went and interviewed people at Modison Pallets, didn't you? You and your team?
My team did, yes.
Yeah, and he was a good employee, wasn't he?
Yes.
And he had been there a long time.
Yes.
Fair to say Mr. Tenon knew a few things about pallet work.
That's probably true.
Okay? And then it just happens to be that on the poll camera footage, a pallet truck pulls up to the Potomac address and stops. We went through that exercise, didn't we?
Yes.
And then when you took photos of the Potomac address, when you guys searched it, there was stacks of pallets next to the house, weren't there?
I don't recall that. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but I don't recall it.
I'll show you pictures in a second. And Mr. Tenon's business was taking older pallets and fixing them to make them reusable. That's what he did at Modison Pallets, correct?
Yes.
I'm showing you it's defendant's 58, already put in evidence. Take a second to look at all the Google searches. Mr. Tenon was Googling business plans the week before he received those checks?
Yes.
And then the other part of your investigation was revealed that Mr. Tenon in January, in January of 2022, Mr. Tenon didn't have a lot of money in his account. You went through that and you showed the jury that he would even have overdrawn months, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that would be consistent with a person who has to go to their landlord and say, I can't afford to live here anymore, right? His bank accounts reflected that he could not afford to pay rent to Mr. Fernandez, right?
I would say the bank accounts afforded that he probably would have a hard time paying his rent.
Okay, so we agree. And that was the time that Mr. Fernandez said, again, on the Sunny phone call, I tried to work with him, but he just couldn't come up with the money, so I had to get a new tenant. So that's consistent, correct?
Yes.
Now, you know that there are ways that you can pay somebody via implied payments, meaning you don't actually pay them money, you give them value. You're aware of that, right?
Yes.
In your world, in the fancy business world that you come from, that's called sweat equity, right?
Something like that, yes.
In this case, we know that Mr. Tenon was having a hard time paying rent to Mr. Fernandez, correct?
According to what Mr. Fernandez said on the call, yes.
And according to Mr. Tenon's bank records, they're consistent with that, correct?
Yes.
You told the jury that you think the rent payment was around $800 to live at the Potomac address, correct?
Yes.
So if you didn't want to write checks, if you didn't want to have any cash exchanges, you could just let someone live at your house for free, and every month you'd get $800. That's another way to pay somebody, correct?
I don't understand the question.
If Mr. Fernandez wanted Mr. Tenon to do something illegal for him, he could have just said, why don't you stay in my house and don't pay me rent? And every month it'll be as if you got $800. That's another way to pay somebody, correct?
I mean, hypothetically speaking, yes, he could do, I guess he could do that.
But that didn't happen in this case. Mr. Tenon left, put his stuff in the garage, and Mr. Ordway moved in, correct?
And Mr. Tenon was still basically living there.
From time to time, but he also stayed at his girlfriend Peanut's house. You learned that during the investigation, didn't you?
He pretty much stayed at Potomac.
I showed you, and I'll do it again if I have to, but you remember when I showed you the address of what Mr. Tenon had put on the pawn shop receipts after he had moved out of Potomac?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't the Potomac address, was it?
No.
It was Peanut's address on Old Kings Avenue, correct?
Yes.
So he wasn't using the Potomac address anymore after he moved out. He was using Peanut's address.
According to the one slip, yes.
Okay, now we've gone through the month of March, and those checks, and then early April, there's the $5,000 check. That's the $10,000, right?
Yes.
No checks in May, correct?
No.
No checks in June, correct?
No.
No checks in July, correct?
No.
No checks in August, correct?
That's correct.
And Mr. Tenon gets arrested in August.
That's correct.
And there's not a single jail call that you're aware of that you've heard where Mr. Tenon is griping that he never got paid to kill Jared Bridegan, correct?
Correct.
So it's your theory that although you learned that he does legitimate work for Mr. Fernandez, that there's $10,000, that's what he got to kill Jared Bridegan, correct?
Yes.
But you also learned that he did tree work and landscaping at his house, right?
There were conversations of that.
And you saw it. You saw work being performed at the house, correct?
Not by Mr. Tenon.
I mean, I showed you a video of him coming out and unloading boxes from his trunk, right?
Yes, there was a video of him unloading boxes.
Do you think Mr. Fernandez pays Mr. Tenon to kill somebody, and then he calls up and he's like, come outside and unload the truck of my car? Don't you think Mr. Tenon would own Mr. Fernandez at that point?
I can't speak to Mr. Tenon's mind or what he did or didn't do as far as that's concerned.
If it was represented to this jury that Mr. Tenon should be dead to them, Mr. Tenon's not dead right now, is he?
No.
He's very much alive, isn't he?
Yes.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
And I don't know if you want to take, when I am done, I'm going to need like 2 minutes to
Okay.
repack, organize those documents. There was a $10,000 cash withdrawal from Mr. Fernandez's accounts you talked to the jury about.
Yes, sir.
And then to show that Mr. Tenon would get cash, he would deposit cash into his account, correct?
There were cash deposits into his account.
Any reason to believe there's a single transaction where Mr. Tenon deposits $10,000 worth of cash?
No, sir.
$9,000 worth of cash?
No, sir.
$8,000 worth of cash?
No, sir.
$7,000 worth of cash?
No, sir.
$6,000 worth of cash?
They were all smaller deposits under $600.
That you have no idea where they came from, correct?
No.
Mr. Tenon was a handy guy, right?
Yes,
Not making a lot of money at Modestin Palace, correct?
that's correct.
So if he went around and he did odd jobs for people and got cash, that wouldn't shock you.
No,
Okay, so that's where that money could have come from, correct?
I don't know where the money came from, unfortunately.
Yeah, you certainly don't know that it came from Mr. Fernandez, right?
Correct.
And there's no huge increase. Let's say the month that the $10,000 cash withdrawal, did you get any evidence that all of a sudden Mr. Tenon did something that was financially out of his reach, like went to Vegas for the weekend,
No, sir.
went to the Keys,
No.
took and bought himself a new car?
No.
Not a single thing that would match that a person didn't deposit cash, but all of a sudden got a huge influx of cash. You have no evidence to believe Mr. Tenon got a huge influx of cash, did you?
No.
In fact, what you do know is that Mr. Tenon owned a Ford F-150 that was blue in color, that was previously owned by his father, and he couldn't even get the timing belt fixed because he left it at Jimmy Jones's house and didn't have the money to get it fixed, correct?
That's correct.
Anything further, Your Honor? I just need a minute to clean up.
Okay. Any redirect of the witness? Okay, and just give him a moment.
I will. Mr. Drysdale, I'll need defense too, please. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. So, Ms. Rahi?
Detective Johns, could you explain to the jury how what they have seen is just a small snapshot of the potential financial records or financial transactions that would exist in the entire world with regard to these people?
We only collected a few months period of time that was around before and after the homicide, and it does not paint a full picture of the amount of financial benefit that someone would have received during the course of their marriage.
And are there ways that people can make financial transactions that would not appear in bank records?
Yes.
Can you hand each other things of value?
Yes.
Jewelry, cash, anything else?
All kinds of things that are worth something that could be sold later that aren't going to be recorded.
The bank accounts you did receive were the bank accounts that we were able to find out about in subpoena.
Yes.
Could there be other bank accounts that we never found out about?
Yes.
So it's just a small snapshot of the financial records.
That's correct.
Okay. Because the defense asked you questions about there was only the $10,000 in checks, but we also see that Mr. Tenon deposited, although not $10,000 worth of cash, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of cash.
Yes, that's correct.
And certainly it's possible that he did handyman jobs, and it's certainly possible that he got it from Mr. Fernandez. We just don't know.
That's correct.
The defense asked you about jail calls, and are all inmate calls recorded?
I'm not sure.
Are you aware of the fact that the jail tells the inmates if they use jail calls that their calls are monitored and recorded?
Yes, that is true.
So If a defendant got on the jail calls after being told that they're being monitored and recorded and said, I'm upset I didn't get my payment for murder for hire, that person would be potentially confessing.
That's accurate.
Okay. During the review of all the records in this particular case, did you see any other $5,000 checks that this defendant wrote to any charitable organizations?
No, sir.
Any investments in any other Kickstarters?
No, sir.
Anything that could be classified as trying to help another person?
No, sir.
He saw payments to himself and to his business interests.
Correct.
Defense asked you lots of questions about whether or not the defendant got any money from the trust account. But the defendant, did he get money directly from the Gardners, meaning the parents, his in-laws?
Yes.
And that was, we know, at least $75,000 because we saw that check.
That's correct.
Okay. He also got over $300,000 from the marital home.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
Let's go over with what the defense counsel spent a lot of time discussing was a prenuptial agreement. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
What is the title of this agreement?
It is a post-nuptial agreement.
Not pre,
Correct.
post.
Yes.
What's the date that the parties were married?
I actually don't remember the exact date.
Oh, it's on there.
Oh, sorry. April 13th, 2018.
April 13th, 2018. Let's look at page 12. The execution of that document,
October 15th, 2019.
that's way after their marriage date.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any idea what cars were transferred in the first 18 months of that agreement? Or 14 months, 16 months?
No, sir.
Could have been the Tesla.
It could have.
Mario's bank accounts. Can you read those into the records that was written in the post-nuptial agreement?
USAA $1,463.37, and then two Navy Federal accounts, one for $3,552.32, and the other for $4,000. It's either a 3 or an 8, 44.22.
And then back to that page 1 of defense 2. Can you read into a record the incomes of Mario Enrique Fernandez and Shanna Gardner?
Mario Fernandez is indicated that he's self-employed and makes approximately $28,000 a year. And Shanna Gardner also indicates that she's self-employed and makes approximately $36,000 a year.
I think you explained this, but I want to give you an opportunity to make it more clear. Why, in your opinion, did Mr. Tenon receive the 3 checks on the same day, even though he deposited them on separate days?
My objection is to improper opinion.
Okay.
I think this is directly in response to cross-examination questions.
Respond to the objection, though. What's the foundation for the opinion?
Well, he crossed him on whether or not it was the same day. He crossed him. I mean, he crossed him on this.
I'll allow you to rephrase then.
Explain to this jury how the check stubs were recovered in Henry Tenon's Fiat truck.
The check stubs or the checks in general are a business style printed page check. There's 3 checks to a page typically, and there's stubs. The stubs were found intact inside Mr. Tenon's truck.
And those have been made in evidence, so the jury will get to see it. We talked a little bit on cross-examination about the surreptitious phone call between this defendant and Mr. Fung.
Yes, sir.
And nowhere in that call does the defendant indicate that he gave $5,000 to Henry Tenon as a Kickstarter.
No, sir.
That's not mentioned.
No.
That's all the questions I have.
Anything further for this witness?
Is that okay, Your Honor?
Okay.
In that postnuptial agreement, Mr. Fernandez, it was stated that he made $36,000 a year when they signed that postnuptial agreement. Is that correct?
28,000.
28,000?
Yes, sir.
You agree with me that would be $28,000 more than Jared Bridegan made during the course of his marriage to Shanna Gardner, correct?
Okay. I'll sustain it.
No further questions?
You want to be heard? I'll hear it sidebar.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, one moment. So just for the record, I'm allowing Mr. Dreiser to rephrase his question. Go ahead.
In the postnuptial agreement, Mr. Fernandez did in fact have an income, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when Jared Bridegan was married to Miss Gardner, he did not have an income, correct?
I'm not aware of any jobs he did or didn't work.
You already answered my question earlier. You said you knew that he did not work when he was married to Miss Gardner.
I know that the Gardners provided income and education expenses for their children and their spouses.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right. May the witness be excused, or do you want to?
I have to ask one more
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
Were you aware that Mr. Bridegan was in school during the marriage and learning?
Yes, sir.
That's all the questions I have.
May the witness be excused.
Yes.
No recall?
Oh, he is subject to recall.
Okay. Stay in contact with the lawyers.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that it?
And call your next witness.
Your Honor, the state rests.
All right. Members of the jury, the state of Florida has rested its case. That's going to require me to have a meeting with the attorneys outside of your presence. And right now, we'll call it 4 o'clock. So we're going to recess for your purposes for the evening, okay? We will come back tomorrow again at 9 a.m., all right? So leave your notepads on your chair, please, and follow the communication rules. Have a nice evening.